is unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone.
What you say? That you only been well.
Yes, we are now live broadcasting via the vidya at Stibbs TV. Just go to Stibbs TV. It's on youtube.com. And we posted links. You can just go there and click on it. And yes, over this way, that's Stibbs. That's Josh. Of course, we have the nice super. We have the graphic on there. Stibbs' name is now Stibbs Studio, apparently.
Nice.
If there was any confusion, people couldn't see the studio behind me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So if you want to join us on Stibbs TV. And yes, Mike Stibbs now gets to perform the What You Say.
Plus, if you missed us during the commercial break, you might have gotten some exclusive content on Stibbs TV that you can't get anywhere else.
This weekend would have been the spring game. What will you miss from the spring game? And John, you have to give an honest, non-snarky answer about what you would have missed from this soap scrimmage.
What would I miss? You know what I miss? I would miss the sense of normalcy. The sense of normalcy that exists when people overreact to a practice. I genuinely miss that because it reminds me of the things that I used to dislike. And now I wish they were here because I dislike them a lot less than our current situation. Is that good enough?
No, that's exactly where I'm at. I wasn't even going to be in Nebraska this weekend. I was going to be in Nashville, and now I will not be in Nashville. I will be in Nebraska, and then nothing is happening. I agree. I will miss the normalcy. If I was going to actually go to the game, I would miss like the tailgating and just hanging out with friends. But since I wouldn't have been this year, it's just that. It's just that things are normal, and that means other things would have also been normal, which doesn't really answer the question of what I would have actually missed from the spring game.
Here's a quote from Bill Moose to Tom Chattel about beer. This is not going to happen. I'm not in charge of that, saying what will happen. That's a decision above me. I do not see that happening in the future. What we want to make sure is we have people in the stadium. That has to do more with their comfort, health-wise, than it does amenities you could be offered. It is not a topic. Does this run counter to what he told Sip a few weeks back?
It does, doesn't it? Because when they talked about ideas then for making revenue, they one of the first things that it seemed like was brought up was alcohol being sold. Now, maybe at that time he meant it more from the arena or from the baseball stadium component, because this was about Memorial Stadium when he talked to Tom Chattel. So maybe it was about that. But that does run counter to the conversation that he had with him a couple weeks ago.
Sam, would you like to show everyone what do you have in your hand? Bring this over. We're live on YouTube.
Not a cat, is it?
What do you got? You got pizza. Where'd the pizza come from? Ooh, we have Casey's Pizza.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Great local business.
Yes, great local business doing great local things. You know what I think it was? Because Bill Moose, that very first article, it was one of the first times that Moose commented after everything had started. And I think he floated that out there to see what kind of response he would get. Something tells me that someone or somebodies with some rather big pockets or some rather powerful influence read that and probably said, I'm not a big fan. And now you're seeing Bill Moose kind of backing off. I think Bill was just tried to stick his toe in the water. Then he found out that the water was very hot. Didn't like it. Very hot. And so
be nice.
He's now backed off.
Probably equal. Hey, Josh.
What?
Thoughts on your starting quarterback and starting running back partying it up this weekend, during a global pandemic?
That was not cool, Stibbs. Very bad takes by both of them. I imagine that because they are young, that they are probably saying to themselves, hey, we are young. We have nothing to worry about. I got tagged in many a tweet about it this weekend, and I was annoyed every single time that I got tagged. So bad take by them. I did not enjoy it.
I am shocked. That the Dallas Cowboys would be among the first teams to violate this. And this is why Dak Prescott can't be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's too irresponsible.
Deion Sanders told Todd Gurley not to wear number 21, his old number, in Atlanta, but Gurley is ignoring him and will do so. Is he disrespecting prime time?
This is silly. I mean, they didn't retire the number, right?
They didn't know. How long was he there? Not even 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, exactly. And then he left for San Francisco, and then he left for Dallas. Yes, Primetime had a great career in Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, and he was a celebrity there. But it's not like this is number 16 with San Francisco, or number 12, what that means to Tampa Bay, or number 4 and what that means to Green Bay. Deion needs to get over himself. This is a hometown kid, a Georgia guy who's coming home to play for a Georgia team, and they're very excited about it. Let him wear his stupid number, and Deion, get over yourself.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, if anything, I guess he's disrespecting Deion Sanders by not, going with his wishes. But I think that wearing numbers like that can show a reverence for former players in that spot. I mean, it's why LeBron started his career by wearing 23, because he was such a big Michael Jordan fan. You see that with all sorts of numbers. Really weird, too. But once again, because Deion wasn't even in Atlanta that long. I don't even think of him as a Falcon first.
Speaking of prime, you won't see him on the NFL draft coverage because, as earlier reported, the draft will be dominated by ESPN personalities on both ESPN and NFL Network. Does this make the draft less appealing to watch?
Since Berman hasn't been on there in a few years, I do not hate ESPN like I used to. I mean, Mel Kiper is pretty annoying, but I mean, is Charles even involved with it as much as he used to be? If he's not, then I'm kind of out on NFL Network's coverage. I like Rich Eisen a lot, but I'm not as big of a Daniel Jeremiah fan as a lot of other people are.
It does make it a little less appealing to me. And again, I just have a too strong a dislike for certain things ESPN, but I've drifted so far away from their NFL coverage. I mean, really, the only reason I watch them is because they have Monday Night Football, and half the time the game sucks anyway, so I can kind of tune that out as well. Yeah, the whole Berman thing, that's not an issue. I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch ABC's coverage because I don't need to hear any more Kirk Herbstreit, and I don't need to hear about all those guys. But I am disappointed because I liked the fact that we had different channels. We had alternates, and I loved the opportunity to hear the NFL Network guys. But it is what it is. The NFL Network studios are in states that are much more on lockdown than ESPN is in Bristol right now. So, congratulations, ESPN. The event that you made a thing is now all yours again.
NASCAR's Kyle Larson used the N-word in an iRacing event streaming on Twitch over the weekend. As a result, he has been suspended by his team and by NASCAR and will have to attend sensitivity training. He has since apologized.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake and said the word that should never, ever be said. And, there's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say. And I feel very sorry for my family, my friends, my partners, the NASCAR community, and especially the African-American community. I understand the damage is probably unrepairable, and, I own up to that. But I just wanted to let you all know how sorry I am. And, I hope everybody is staying safe during these crazy times. Thank you.
Will that be enough, or could this derail an already successful and promising career?
Well, in the time since everything went down, he's lost 2 major sponsors, really 3 major sponsors. Chevy has distanced themselves, Credit One Bank, One Bank, and McDonald's have both dropped him. So yes, and obviously sponsors are a big thing that makes this go around. Now, he'll still be driving, he'll still be racing, but this is already come back in a huge way, and it happened in, of all places, an iRace. It's not even something he said in the press. It's not something that he said in the heat of actual competition. It was during an iRace.
And he knew that he was on camera and on microphone, right?
He might. Well, yeah, I think so. I don't know.
He knew he was on a microphone for sure. I don't know if he knew that it was streaming completely yet, because I watched the video, and after he said it, the people that were talking to him were like, everyone can hear you.
They caught it. They definitely caught it. It's gonna hurt. It obviously it already has, and it happened fast.
Yeah, and it should. I just, man, it's sometimes hard for me to, to listen to an apology where a guy says, like, that's the word that should never be said. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously it should never be said. First of all, why did you say it? Second of all, you were on this platform. I don't know. It's just, what a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to do. I don't even really have that much more to add. I'm so stunned by this actually happening that I'm almost like rendered speechless, just because you don't expect those things to happen anymore. Like, that there's racism in the world still, of course, and that there are bad people in the world, but for somebody in like his position doing what he was doing in that exact moment to say that word, it certainly makes me wonder, like, wow, what does this guy say when he isn't anywhere near microphones all the time?
The New York Times did an NFL story without reference to, double checks to be sure, the COVID.
Yay!
And it's about the league coming to terms with the marijuana. But as the story suggests, if the NFL's new no-game suspension policy is truly progressive, why is the league still testing for it?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
Because they can.
Right? No,
Right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's still their league. It's just, like I imagine that there are spots in Colorado and Oregon and other states that have legal marijuana that if you, apply for a job, that you might get tested there, even though it is legal in that state, just like alcohol is legal in all 50 states. Yeah, I think it's because of what you just said, John. It's because they want to have power. And this gives them the ability to have power over something, even if they will not be suspending players for it in the future.
Brian, thank you, but why did you think I wasn't going to be solid?
He's referring to Brian. Brian has I put up a super of one of Brian's comments on Stibbs TV that says Stibbs is way more solid than I thought. Great time, boys. Keep it up.
Thank you, Brian.
I think, Brian. NBA fans were none too pleased at the version of horse that appeared on their TVs this weekend. Are any of these goofy ideas for sports going to actually work over the next few months?
I mean, the closest thing that we saw to success was the iRacing series. And I mean,
now people are going to be running away from that in droves because we've had two guys get in trouble and lose sponsors because of it.
Exactly. So, no, I don't think so. I think that the only goofy ideas that would work for sports are the literal sports returning and not having fans or being played in, random arenas around the country, something like that. Those are the only goofy ideas that I think are going to work. I didn't watch any of the horse thing, but everyone I talked to that did said it was horrible. Obviously, we just ran through some of the iRacing stuff. The basketball version where they're just playing the video game, it doesn't seem like that's working out very well as well. Like yes, there is a niche audience for any of these things, but mass appeal, I think it's going to be really hard to come by.
Which leads me to think that even when we get some sports back, people are still, I mean, let's just, for argument's sake, let's say the NBA comes back, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people that don't like the NBA are still not going to watch. So this idea of, well, we'll just be happy that any sports is back and we'll watch anything. No, I mean, if a tennis event comes back and people don't like tennis, they're not going to watch.
Bad thing about the NBA, though. Everyone will watch the NBA.
I might watch one extra game, so one game.
Shut up, Stibbs.
I realized something while I was raking up all the dead twigs from my yard was, the way I consumed the NBA playoffs was it was on in the background while I was preparing for the College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have a College World Series to prepare for, then what am I going to do to have something on in the background? It's going to have to be foreground, and I don't know if I can stomach that.
It's a better version of the college game that you call a million times a year. Why would you not want to watch the NBA?
Because they don't play defense. My name's
John Bishop, and I have bad takes.
Did he freeze?
Weird.
Oh, no.
No, I didn't freeze. I was going to see if you guys
God dang it.
I'm the only one that hasn't had internet problems today. All right, we're going to take a break. But for those of you on Stibbs TV, you know what? We'll stay on. So if you want to hear Josh say stupid things, well, beyond the stupid things he says on the air, you can stay on Stibbs TV. Back to wrap up the program after this on 1620 The Zone. I guess I have Casey's Pizza to look forward to after the show.
Yeah, nice.
Lucky.
Well, trust me, I wish I could have had you guys over for Easter because we got a lot of Easter food left over.
Oh my gosh, same.
Wow. Ham and turkey.
The water of meats.
Makes a good sandwich.
Get some bacon in there, have a club.
Nah, I did a grilled ham and it wasn't grilled ham and cheese, but I put it in the toaster oven. So it was like a toasted ham and cheese. It was pretty good. No, Sam, these guys are Popeye's fools, and that's just the way they're going to be.
Fools.
The superior chicken.
Oh, that's right. Sam is
very triggered that you guys don't believe that Chick-fil-A is the superior chicken.
How old is Sam again? Like 20? I remember when I was an idiot.
Yeah, I do too. About 3 seconds ago. Besides, the real answer is KFC.
Oh my gosh. See,
I got a negative reaction from everybody.
Stibbs, how long will we have here?
Will we have?
Yeah.
Oh, math. Just a few minutes.
All right.
Thanks for being specific. I could have told you that looking at the clock.
3-ish. We're back in 3. There's 2:17 break at the end. I don't know. You do the math. Figure it out.
Why don't you bring Ben in real quick so everyone can get a good look at Ben?
Yes.
I can if you'd like.
Nah.
Does anybody want to see Ben? Josh has got quite the sliver of sunlight working.
Dude, I know. It's so annoying. It's like good for the first 2 hours of the show, and then it just really starts getting
Yeah, I turned around my vantage point so I wouldn't have the window in the background.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy the ironing board.
Yeah, I loved it.
Code on the wall.
Asian Joe. Shout out to John's ironing board.
I hate that thing, but I mean,
gets the job done. It irons things.
I know. Well, no, it doesn't iron anything. That I wish it did.
That's true. It's the board.
It's got to be your board.
NASCAR suspended Kyle Larson.
Yeah, they I thought they did. I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I just saw a tweet, so I was wondering too.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically anyone who's had any interest in him has suspended him. iRacing, NASCAR, Chevy, McDonald's, Cap One or Credit One Bank. The funny thing is he's like he actually one of the reasons why he got to drive was he was part of their diversity program because he's part Japanese.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those deals where you're you think you're not on the air, but you're on the air. You know, it's a hot mic.
Josh Brandon on Twitter is very triggered that you have your hat on backwards. Can you believe this?
Wow.
Well, I'm triggered too because now we can see more of his face.
He even has a disappointed gecko gift and everything. Like he is beside himself that you decided to wear a hat a certain particular way, and I'm very sorry.
We'll go Pedro Strop now.
You're listening to Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
We just came out of the box just hot.
The 1620, The Zone.
Well, that'll wrap things up for this program. Coming up tomorrow, it is Tuesday. And Tuesday means we're going to talk with Nate Klaus. We'll talk with who am I forgetting? Michael Bruns.
3 minutes, guys.
Thank you. 3 minutes, says Tibbs.
We'll talk about 3 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Ben, come here.
And
Better Call Saul. We'll talk about Better Call Saul.
Oh, and yes, Better Call Saul. Watch tonight's episode. And by the way, there he is. There's Ben. If you're watching on Stibbs TV, if you've always wondered what Ben looks like.
That's the same coat he wears every day we see him.
By the way, I believe Ben might be sporting one of our stylish Zone face masks.
He is, Ben. Come here. Show him the side of that
Yeah,
face.
get up real close to Stibbs. Violate the 6-foot order.
Other side.
Look at
Right, no, get away from me.
Yeah, you guys are not following the rules. You got to be 6 feet apart, Stibbs. 6 feet.
So here's what's going to happen now. As soon as we get off the program, I'm going to call the Omaha police and have Stibbs and Ben arrested.
Not a bad
and
idea.
there goes Blue Jay Banner. No Blue Jay Banner tonight. Because if Ben's not around to run it, who's going to run it?
Great point. There is Blue Jay Banner tonight. You can tune in here at 6 o'clock for Blue Jay Banner.
Well, yes, I was joking.
I just want to make sure that people knew where they could hear it. It's on. Sports. Creighton.
Exactly. Outside of Better Call Saul, anyone have plans for tonight?
Dude, it's funny. I was just trying to figure out what I'm going to watch. There's some movie, or no. I restarted The Wire last night, so I'm going to watch The Wire.
Josh, have you watched a single second of John Boyce's Mariners?
No, I need to.
Unfreaking believable.
All right, I will watch some of that tonight, Stibbs.
There's 3 parts now. The 4th one will be this week. I legitimately teared up at the end of part 3, and I'm not even that big of a Mariners fan. It's
teared up.
It's amazing, and I've watched it. I've literally watched the last 5 minutes like 10 times. It's amazing.
All right, I will
teared
start
up
watching.
over what?
That whole episode was about the Game 5 in 1995.
Against the Yankees.
And you were how old in 1995?
I was 6. Well, I would have been 5 then.
And you had? Did you even remember that happening in 1995?
Not vaguely. I didn't watch it. It wasn't about it happening. It's the way the story was told and the build up to it, and it was very well done. It's very good.
Stibbs actually might be becoming a legit Mariners fan.
Wow, look at this horrible take in the YouTube comments. EC says, hot take, last week's Better Call Saul was average at best. EC, very, very, very bad take.
I disagree. I thought it was a good show. I can't wait for tonight. And there's only 2 episodes left.
Only 2 left.
Well, good news is we'll have time on Mondays to do Jack's little podcast thing because I won't have my regular Monday benchmark.
There you go.
There you go.
You have that.
Going to make Jack very happy.
Check out everything on the radio replay. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday and stay tuned for Blue Jay Banner next.
Bye.